That was Brian Maddison there, chairman of the Petrol Retailers Association. Now, a massive leak of documents has revealed the secrets of presidents, prime ministers and royalty. The documents, called the Pandora Papers, show the offshore dealings of some world leaders. They include the King of Jordan, who secretly bought properties in London, Washington and Malibu. The King of Jordan's lawyers said that the information is not accurate or up to date. The papers also show how former Prime Minister Tony Blair and his wife saved more than £300,000 in stamp duty when they purchased a London office, buying an offshore firm that owned the building. Richard Bilton has the report.
It's one of the world's most glamorous addresses.
So this is David Beckham's place, coming up on our right. This is David Beckham's place?
Home to the stars.
That's Simon Cowell's place right there. Just there?
But even the guides don't know who owns one imposing villa on Malibu's cliffs.
Who lives here on this house on the left? Just here now. Who lives here?
I have no idea. Extremely impressive.
The secret owner has bought the properties on either side too. We know his identity because of a huge leak of offshore documents. They were obtained by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists and shared with more than 600 reporters, including The Guardian in the UK. The documents show the Malibu property was held through a company called Nabisco Holdings, but the real owner is Abdullah al-Sharif al-Hussein, the King of Jordan. King Abdullah's country isn't rich. Jordan is getting, over 5 years, £650 million of UK aid. But we found the king owned properties in Washington and London as well, 15 in total. He spent £70 million.
It's just very, very difficult for the average Jordanian to achieve just sort of home and family and a good job. To have it really thrown in Jordanians' faces that he's just been sort of funneling money abroad all this time, that would look really bad.
The King of Jordan's lawyers said there is nothing improper about his ownership of properties, and the source of funds is personal wealth, which he also uses to fund projects for Jordan's citizens. Closer to home, the files show a property deal involving a former UK Prime Minister. This isn't about hiding wealth offshore, but Tony Blair did benefit from a loophole.
Offshore trusts get tax relief while homeowners pay VAT on insurance premiums. We will create a tax system that is fair, which is related to ability to pay.
On his way to power, Tony Blair promised tax reform, but he and his wife saved money when they bought this place in central London in 2017. It cost them £6.5 million.
The stamp duty on a property like this would be more than £300,000. That's what you or I would pay if we bought this property direct from somebody else. But the Blairs didn't pay it.
That's because the property was owned by an offshore company, and the Blairs bought that company rather than the property itself. No rules were broken, no stamp duty to pay.
That doesn't look right. And so even if what the Blairs did was perfectly legal, perfectly legitimate in the business world, it feels instinctively really unfair because they got access to an advantage, a potential advantage, that the rest of us don't have.
Cherie Blair told the BBC they didn't request to structure the transaction this way, and that after purchase they had brought the property under UK tax and regulatory rules. A spokesman added the couple will be liable for capital gains tax on resale. Richard Bilton, BBC News.